Hi everybody, it's Wanda. So I'm so excited over the texture that I get with the gold, with the mica moving around that's actually in the paint, giving it a textured look, that I want to try it with silver. And I just used pretty much what I had here in the house, already bought. The darkest one is going to be the Chroma Molten Metals in their, whatever that word is, silver. Looks like perguer. I guess that may be Spanish. I have no idea. I don't know Spanish language. Silver. Chroma silver. And this one, I got at Walmart. It hangs on the wall to the right of where all the craft paints is in my Walmart. And this is made in England. And this is a good brand of paint. This actually was so thick that I probably had to mix it about 4-to-1. Paint and Floetrol. I mean, I had to put about 4 times as much Floetrol to get it to the consistency that I have it, and I'll show it to you. This one is the Anita's, and their silver is very pale. It almost looks like a darker white in the cup. It has just a little bit of silver, so that should be interesting. Now, it'll dry a little duller than the Chroma. So it's going to be odd for the darker color to dry shinier to me than the lighter color. The lighter color in the gold, Chroma gold, throws like a highlight. And this may not do that. So it's going to be interesting to see that. This is the consistency that I have, if you can see that, in the Rowney brand. And so it's a little thick. I want them a little thick. There's no water in any of these. This one is the Anita's silver, so you can see it's a little thick. I mean, it runs off pretty well. And then this one is the Chroma. Hope you all can see this. I may be too far to the right. There's the Chroma. You can see how it's dripping down, making a mound. Let me show all these again a little closer to the middle of the screen. See how that one does? It runs right off, but it mounds. And this is the Anita's. So I'm kind of fascinated with this lighter color. I think that's kind of cool. My camera must be tilted. I'm getting oddball stuff going on there. Okay, so it takes 7 ounces. This is a 12 by 16. Takes about 7 or 8 ounces, and I'm just going to layer them and do the multiple puddle, straight puddle pour like I did in the last one, in the last video, and see what happens. These are 3-ounce cups, so I've got all of them nearly full, so I should have plenty of paint. And you can probably see how it's running as it goes in. I'm trying this new camera setup. I noticed when I reviewed last night that it's jiggling because the tripod's sitting on the table. And so I hope that doesn't drive anybody crazy. Set that over there because my blow dryer always blows my cups over. Put most of that in there. And we hope this is about the right amount. So I'm gonna move these paints. And that tube, by the way, is I think $2.97 at Walmart. This almost looks white up against the others. See that silver, that pale, that's that Anita's silver. I can't wait to see how this turns out. I love experimenting. I'm a mad scientist. I wish. I wish. I like to spread my paint before going over the edges. And one of the reasons I like to do that is so I can see how my paint is flowing, how my lines are going, what they're doing. Like, I love this. It looks like a wave. I just like to kind of keep an eye on it. And then if there's something that I truly don't love, like this right here, I'm glad I'm going to blow it because I don't like that center that came out there. But it just gives me a little better overview of what I'm getting, I think, if I spread it to all the edges without going over the corners. But it's a personal preference. You do it with whatever is comfortable for you. You don't have to do anything like I do or anybody else. Just remember that. It's your painting. You do it with, and find your own comfort zone. And over time, you will find a technique or a way of mixing your paint or the brand of paint that you love and that you enjoy working with the most. It's just a process. It just takes a little time if you're a new person. And don't give up on yourself. Whatever you do, don't stop. Don't get discouraged and give in. Because can't never could do anything, as my mother taught me. When I'd say, I can't do so-and-so, she'd say, oh, yes, you can. And can't never could do anything. So she was a school teacher, which was to my advantage in some ways and to my disadvantage in other ways. Very strict disciplinarian. Very strict. There was no monkey business going on. It's funny because after she was older and I was taking care of her after she had her stroke, I was her caregiver for 10 years. And I had a sitter that would come and stay so I could go grocery shopping and bring in things that we needed and stuff. And she asked my mom one time if she was strict with her children. And my mom answered her and said, I didn't put up with any nonsense. And when Barbara told me that Mom said that, I just absolutely died laughing. And I said, that is the best description that I can think of. She absolutely did not tolerate, you know, us kids. We were not allowed to throw temper tantrums. No, that wasn't happening. Never even thought about it. Never even considered throwing a temper tantrum or having a fit, wanting to get my own way. No, she did not put up with that. To her, that was nonsense. She didn't put up with any nonsense. Wonderful person. After she had her stroke, she had no short-term memory. And so she couldn't worry. She couldn't worry because she lived in the moment. That whole 10 years that I took care of her, she lived strictly in the moment. And that allowed her nature, her true nature, to shine. And my goodness, she was the most selfless, kind human being that you could possibly hope to ever run into in life. Always put everyone else first. She wouldn't even eat unless she knew that I had food. She'd say, now, honey, do you have something? Before she would start eating. Always concerned about everybody else's welfare and benefit, well-being. So this really moved slow, so I must have had a little thicker than my gold that I worked with yesterday. So It's pretty. That place ended up stretching out some. That didn't. I don't like that one. But I'm going to hit it with the blow dryer, so we're going to see if I can get the mica, like in this. Well, that's got some variation of color. This doesn't. It has a few streaks of the darker color, but it has, and it needs a little bit. But I want to see if that mica blends. So hang with me. Let's see what happens here. I will mute the blow dryer. So what you're going after is you want it to almost look like it's standing up. I don't know if I can show that to you in a way that you can see it or not, but it almost looks like the paint is standing up in areas. It will level itself back out and it will dry. Oops, I hit something right there. May have hit it with the blow dryer or with my arm. You do want it to look like that, and it will if it dry. It may take a couple days to dry. It may take a little bit longer than it would if it wasn't so thick, but you want it to have that body so that it looks like it's standing, and then you'll see this texture start to come out. Now this is pretty busy. I may have to do one where I use less blow dryer and less swirling to just so I can show you all how the mica is moving, because you may not see it with this much paint on here and 3 different colors. So I may do one next. I may do it I think I'm going to do 2 10 by 10s. I may do them quickly and in the same video and show a silver that's 2 colors, the lighter and the mid color, and the gold and the 2 golds that I like, just the 2 colors, and use the blow dryer and let you hopefully see that mica moving and blending the way it does. This is beautiful to me. I love this. I don't know if anybody else likes this stuff or not. It's only 3 colors. It's only 3 types of paint, so it's definitely cost, you know, savings. You're only doing 3 different kinds of paint, you know, 3 different colors of paint, so you're not buying everything on the shelf to do a painting. I really don't like using too much color. I rarely go over 5 colors total in a painting. I just don't see any need for 9 or 10 colors, and to me, you have more risk of it going muddy the more colors you have. If you're not careful, you can really get into trouble there. So I'm going to take the camera down and give you all a close-up of this. Thank you so much for watching. So this is how it looks from up top. Oh me, I just love this. I think it's just cool. I just really like this. I think it's cool. Got a little shadow of my phone on there, but you can see how it blends and moves. And like right up in this area, there wasn't a whole lot of that really dark color. And you can see that it's moved around and blended. So up in here, there's more of the dark. And I like the contrast. Now that's the Chroma that's darker, so I can't wait to see how it dries, because it's going to be probably more shiny than the other two. Now I'm not sure about that De La Rowney, the whitish light silver. It may dry very shiny too. So it'll be fun to see, because I haven't used it. I don't think I've ever used that silver. So thank you for watching. I may blow this area right in here because it still doesn't look textured. So I may hit it with the blow dryer and then take it upstairs to dry. So thank you so much for watching. I did hit that little area right there that was all swirls and the original pour, and it really moved good. So it's almost like it did better than it did with me first pouring it. So you could try that too. You could blow it a little bit, wait a few minutes, and then try again and see if it's setting up just a little bit helps you to have more control over it and how it turns out. It'll be fun to see that too. So thanks again for watching, for hanging with me, for having patience with me. And if you're new, if you have any questions, be sure and post those in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions, and thank you so much for watching.